President Bola Tinubu has ordered the immediate withdrawal of police officers attached to very important persons, directing that they be redeployed to focus on core policing duties across the country. Presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga announced the decision in a statement after a security meeting held in Abuja. The directive mandates that the VIPs seeking security escorts must now request armed personnel from the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. The presidency noted that police presence in many remote areas is insufficient, making it difficult to effectively protect communities amid rising security challenges. To strengthen national security, President Tinubu also approved the recruitment of 30,000 additional police officers. The federal government is partnering with state governments to upgrade police training facilities nationwide. The Abuja meeting was attended by top security chiefs, including heads of the Army, Air Force, Police, and the DSS. What do you make of this story, this directive by the President, Chief Jackson?
If this presidential directive will be effective, I think I begin to want to see positive action of government. It depends on it. Because in the time past, we've seen situations whereby IG will say, hey, withdrawal of all the police from the VIPs. That will last for only 1 or 2 weeks. With the third week, those people that were even using 2 policemen before we begin to use 4. This is a country whereby the numbers of police we have in Nigeria today cannot effectively police a state. Effectively police a state. But we have policemen now carrying bags for politicians' wives. We have politicians now that they will attach like 7 to them, 4 to madam, 4 permanently at home, and 10 to children. Whereas Nigerians are under-policed. So if Mr. President has spoken well, I think I should be praising the president in 2 years. I should be praising, this is the second time I'm praising some of his actions. But that is to say, if truly
it will be implemented.
If it will be implemented. Because Mr. President will not leave President Villa to come and begin to monitor, or there's any satellite that will give him the report of implementation. The IG may just nod into it yesterday and temporarily just tell these people, okay, don't go out with your security aids for about 2 or 3 days. After the 4th day, you see them out again. And there is no way Mr. President will know. That is it. So, but I think even if there is no difference between the life of a politician and the life of a common messenger in any company, they bear the same life, they are useful, because that common messenger today could become somebody meaningful, super meaningful to this country tomorrow. But in a situation where you go to some government house, you see over 300 police, but you go to some police post, you see it locked up. You go to some police division, you can't find up to 20 police officers there. So I think the presidential order and equally a presidential directive, I think it's very good. But my doubt is this: how effective will it be in the next 2 weeks?
The implementation.
The implementation.
How effective it will be.
Will it be in the next 2 weeks?
Well, one would say, considering that this directive have been given to NSCDC, probably NSCDC now has a role to play to ensure that, you know, this directive will be effected, don't you think?
But then, NSCDC, they are always, their own is not for internal security. They are for government infrastructures, for the protection of government infrastructure, pipeline, gas pipeline, electric lines, and other infrastructure like that. And now, by the time civil defense. By the time these people now, the politicians now rush into, you will now discover that if you have 50 maintaining protection of a pipeline, at the end of the day now they may reduce to 2, and they will withdraw others to give to politicians. So to me, whichever way you look at it, the civil defense will now be overwhelmed now. The civil defense, the purpose in which they are created, they will begin to be insufficient, because politicians now will rush to them and get them. So those people that are maintaining protection from infrastructures, they will reduce the number, leaving that infrastructure too at a very serious threat. So that is it.
You think even though this, releases the police or gives police more hands to handle security, on the side of NSCDC, there is going to be deficits of officers guiding the national and state infrastructure?
Yeah, definitely. Because all these politicians now, as I did money now,
a lot of requests.
So if care is not taken, they have to withdraw from their primary duty post. They will withdraw to come and follow politicians. So their primary duty post will be lacking protection. If federal government infrastructure is exposed to threat and an attack, of what value? That they're not sufficient in number to guide where they put them to guide. They're now following politicians. See, the simple thing is this: instead of you to begin to look for different drugs that can cure ulcer on your children, better feed your children well. If you feed your children well, you don't need to care for drugs for ulcer.
All right.
For them. What we are doing now, we are not feeding our children well, and that is why we are now running a task now to get drugs for ulcer. So whereas they say prevention is better than to cure. Let us see how we can prevent this nuisance.
All right.
That is bringing this country down, that is damaging our reputation across the globe. Let us see how we can stop it. Sometimes ago, some senators do not even need police. I've seen a member of House of Assembly in Rivers State before that said, what do I need police for? I've seen local government chairmen, I've seen senators that say, what do I need police for? But now, some of them even need army. I saw the Minister of State for Defense when he was moving to Kebbi on the instruction of Mr. President. No single police around him. They were all military guys. Do we need that? We are in this country where some ministers do not have any security aids. No.
Well, what I was actually getting to that, I wanted to ask you that question. That isn't this to a large extent still enabling insecurity? If the president is more concerned about the safety of the VIPs than the safety of Nigerians whose taxes are funding their lifestyle. Right. Now, because let's use National Assembly for example. Over 109
senators.
Yes. And
360 members of House of Reps.
Now, if we put all of them together, you are talking of security details to every single one of them.
Yes.
And you're not talking about 3 or 4 details.
Yes.
So now you're looking about over 1,000 NSCDC members, details to National Assembly alone. Now, this is a National Assembly who appears to be entirely removed from the insecurity in this country. You know, I am saying this because I am openly calling out the National Assembly. I'm saying this because recall when President Tinubu became the president of this country, I recall very vividly that part of the first legislation by the National Assembly was changing the national anthem. And that legislation was done within days. Like, it was passed, went through first reading, second reading, passed into law, was signed by the president within days.
And what is the impact of it?
What exactly is the impact of it? That's the thing. But that was the swiftest, the fastest legislation ever done by this 10th Assembly.
If they want to borrow money too, it's always very fast.
Very swift again. But now, people are dying. National Assembly sits. The representatives of these constituents, what are they doing? What is Senator Godswill Akpabio doing as the Speaker of the House?
As the Senate President.
What is the Senate? As the Senate President and the Speaker. What are they doing? What is House of Rep doing? Right? That up until now, legislations have not been made to tighten security. Legislations have not been made to tighten our borders, to even make our borders less polarized, considering that a lot of allegations and concerns are coming from the fact that most of these bandits enter through the borders. What legislation has the National Assembly made? You understand?
Yeah.
To tighten security, to even empower the military even more to fight and the Air Force, the Nigerian police and all that. What legislation has been made to empower them more? Since now, most of them are saying, oh, we have to wait for certain orders by whoever at the top, right? And since Zamfara State's governor, for example, has come out to say severally, I know where the bandits are. I can identify them. I know where they stay. I know their communities. But I am not in charge of the security. The issue is ongoing. Kebbi State governor has come out to ask questions. Who instructed the military to leave 30 minutes before disaster struck? These are issues that legislation can take care of. These are issues that the National Assembly can sit and legislate on to, break a lot of these bottlenecks and empower the states to act and empower security agencies to act. What is the National Assembly doing? And the president is saying that at this point in time, it is to withdraw the police and still give them NSCDC. NSCDC is for civil defense, which means they are saddled with the responsibility not to defend the VIPs, but to defend our collective patrimony and defend Nigerians as well. So, the question I am asking is this: of what use is detailing? Well, probably what we are operating in Nigeria is what George Orwell will always say in Animal Farm. All fingers are equal, but some are more equal than the others. So some lives are more valuable. Like I always say in this show, that it appears that even cows are more valuable than human lives in this country. Jackson, what is your take? Because you have talked about possible security or possible personnel deficits in NSCDC if NSCDC is now to take care of security for VIPs. I'm looking at it from another perspective. Why do the VIPs need security? Isn't that enabling them to even not do anything in the first instance that they are supposed to do? Because I assume when we talk about VIPs, we talk about the political elites in the country.
Oh, see, let me come in this way. If you are living in a house with every and high perimeter fence, with a very ballistic kind of gate, the way you are sleeping is not the way I will be sleeping in a house without gate, without fence. And what will be bothering me will not bother you, because I will know that it is not easy for these people to scale the fence. It is not easy to kind of come through the gate. So you can relax well, and you don't bother what happened to the other people that are out. They don't even have doors. Now, let me come back home. What I mean by this, that analogy, is that these people, whenever they are highly protected, they don't care what happens to people outside there. What profit a senator that his constituents are being killed and not safe, but he himself is having retinue of police or military officers around him? Of what profit, of what benefit? These people have forgotten that they are just single person that on trust we send there to go and represent us as a proxy. Then that proxy now, by the time they get there now, the people that send them to go and represent them now become their subjects. So they don't care for the subject again. Now, just like both of you are talking here now, these people are made to protect government infrastructures. And now, the heavy load will now be upon them now for them to attach them to politicians. Local government chairmen will now go and collect civil defense. Members of state assembly will now go for civil defense. The senators will now go for civil defense. The commissioners will now go for civil defense. At the end of the day, all these office holders that will need civil defense in River State,
chiefs,
the chiefs,
His Royal Majesty,
His Royal Majesties, companies. So at the end of the day, you will now discover that the numbers of men of the civil defense we have in River State will not be sufficient for the companies here, not to talk of politicians, businessmen, and other things. So to me, they are going to overload this. It's like you are collecting money from this pocket, leave it empty, and you are putting it in this pocket. By the time the civil defense now are with politicians, then the government infrastructure is with where the economy of Nigeria is coming from will be left, you understand, open. Then these people will go there to go and attack. You understand? So at a particular time, when they attack all those infrastructural development where the resources and others are coming, at a particular time it will bounce on our economy. They won't even be able to pay the salary of the civil defense. That is the danger.
And now the civil defense will now be more of lobbying to be posted to
yes,
politicians.
Yes.
You know, the original.
Now, some of them will go and borrow money now and give their principal, say, sir, you know, they have what they call juicy post. Yes.
All right.
That is it. So to me, I don't think anything is achieved
by this
by this. Yes.